Good evening and welcome to Sun Meadow Temple. We are so happy you've joined us. My name is Alba and I use she, her pronouns. This is our 2nd December service and I'm so happy you are here. As always, the service is recorded and will be posted on our YouTube channel. This month we have a few events going on, including an ugly sweater art contest, a recipe collection, movie night, and a New Year's party. We'll also have our end of the year survey running, as well as our time updates for 2024, which are both super important and I would love for you to fill out. The links are in our social media as well as our Discord. We will open today with our opening words, which will appear on the slide behind you. Feel free to read along at home or just listen. We welcome you into the light of the gods and light this flame in celebration. May its brightness symbolize our connection to the gods and the natural world. May you join us in this community of faith, cherishing love and with open hearts. So if you remember from our last observance, our theme this month is light in the darkness. And so our readings today are Odysseus in the Land of the Dead from Book 6 of the Iliad by Homer, translated by Samuel Butler, and Prometheus from Hesiod. And I don't appear to have the translator on my notes, but it will be on the slide. So please keep in mind this first story is a little bit sad. So if you're not in the headspace for this one, please skip to the story of Prometheus. So, on this, the ghost of Tiresias went back to the house of Hades, for his prophecyings had now been spoken. But I sat there still, where I was, until my mother came up and tasted the blood. Then she knew me at once and spoke fondly to me, saying, "My son, how did you come down to this abode of darkness while you are still alive? It is a hard thing for the living to see these places, for between us and them there are great and terrible waters, and there is Oceanus, which no man can cross on foot, but he must have a good ship to take him. Are you all this time trying to find your way back home from Troy? Have you never yet got back to Ithaca, nor seen your wife in your own house?" "Mother," said I was forced to come here to consult the ghost of the Theban prophet Tiresias. I have never yet been near the Achaean lands, nor set foot on my native country, and I have had nothing but one long series of misfortunes from the day I set out with Agamemnon for Ilus, the land of noble steeds, to fight the Trojans. But tell me, and tell me true, in what way did you die? Did you have a long illness, or did heaven vouchsafe you a gentle, easy passage to eternity? Tell me also about my father and the son whom I left behind. Is my property still in their hands, or has someone else got hold of it, who thinks I shall not return to claim it? Tell me again what my wife intends doing, and in what mind she is. Does she live with my son and guard my estate securely, or has she made the best match she could and married again?" My mother answered, "Your wife still remains in your house, but she is in great distress of mind and spends her whole time in tears both night and day. No one as yet has got possession of your fine property, and Telemachus still holds your lands undisturbed. He has to entirely entertain largely, as of course he must, considering his position as the magistrate, and how everyone invites him. Your father remains at his old place in the country, and never goes near the town. He has no comfortable bed nor bedding. In the winter he sleeps on the floor in front of the fire with the men and goes about all in rags. But in summer, when the warm weather comes on again, he lies out in a vineyard on a bed of vine leaves thrown anyhow upon the ground. He grieves continually about your never having come home, and suffers more and more as he grows older. As for my own end, it was in this wise. Heaven did not take me swiftly and painlessly in my own house, nor was I attacked by any illness, such as those that generally wear people out and kill them. But my longing to know what you were doing and the force of my affection for you, this it was that was the death of me. Then I tried to find some way of embracing my poor mother's ghost. Thrice I sprang towards her and tried to clasp her in my arms, but each time she flitted from my embrace, as it were a dream or phantom, and being touched the quick I said to her, "Mother, why do you not stay still when I would embrace you? If we could throw our arms around each other, we might find sad comfort in the sharing of our sorrows, even in the house of Hades. Does Persephone want to lay on still a further load of grief upon me by mocking me with a phantom only? "My son," she answered, "most ill-fated of all mankind, it is not Persephone that is beguiling you, but all people here are like this when they are dead. The sinews no longer hold the flesh and bones together. These perish in the fierceness of consuming fire as soon as life has left the body, and the soul flits away as though it were a dream. Now, however, go back to the light of day as soon as you can, and note all these things that you might tell them to your wife hereafter." Thus we did converse, and anon Persephone sent up the ghosts of the wives and daughters of all the most famous men. They gathered in crowds about the blood, and I considered how I might question them severally. In the end, I deemed it would be best to draw the keen blade that hung on my sturdy side, and keep them from drinking the blood at once. So they came one after the other, and each one, as I questioned, told me about her race and lineage. So then our next story is Prometheus, and this translation's a little hard to understand, so I might go over it afterwards just so you understand what happened. For when the gods and mortal men had a dispute at Mecone, even then Prometheus was forward, to cut up a great ox and set portions before them, trying to befool the mind of Zeus. Before the rest, he set flesh and inner parts thick with fat upon the hide, covering them with an ox paunch. But for Zeus he put up the white bones, dressed up with cunning art and covered with shining fat. Then the father of men and gods said to him, "Son of Iaptus, most glorious of all lords, good sir, how unfairly you have divided the portions." So said Zeus, whose wisdom is everlasting, rebuking him. But wily Prometheus answered him, smiling softly, and not forgetting his cunning trick, "Zeus, most glorious and greatest of the eternal gods, take whichever of these portions your heart within you bids." So he said, thinking trickery. But Zeus, whose wisdom is everlasting, saw and failed not to perceive the trick. And in his heart he thought mischief against mortal men, which also was to be fulfilled. With both hands he took up the white fat and was angry at heart, and wrath came to his spirit when he saw the white ox bones craftily tricked out. And because of this, tribes of men upon the earth burn white ox bones to the deathless gods upon fragrant altars. But Zeus, who drives the clouds, was greatly vexed and said to him, "Son of Iaptus, clever above all, so, sir, you have not yet forgotten your cunning art." So spake Zeus in anger, whose wisdom is everlasting. And from that time he was always mindful of the trick, and would not give power of unwearying fire to the Malian race of mortal men who live upon the earth. But the noble son of Iaptus outwitted him, and stole the far-seeing gleam of unwearying fire in the hollow fennel stalk, and Zeus, who thunders on high, was stung in spirit, and his dear heart was angered, when he saw amongst men the far-seen ray of fire. So that is the story of how sacrifice occurs, and Zeus is tricked to pick a sacrifice of bones and not good parts of the animal, when instead of picking the meat, because the meat is disguised as looking like the organs of the animal. And so then, of course, man is punished by taking away fire, and then Prometheus goes and steals the fire back, which then ends up with Pandora afterwards, and that's how this wild story ends. But that's what happened in that last clip there. Okay. So in both of these stories, the characters suffer without having light in the dark times. In the case of Prometheus, it is very literal. There is no fire, and therefore there is rampant disease and starvation because they cannot make and cook food. And although there is no physical light when Odysseus talks to his mom, there is the light of seeing family and learning what has happened while he has been away in darkness, the war, for over a decade. So, many of you know my personal negative feelings toward Odysseus, but I will give it to him that he loves and cares about his family and their safety. The winter holidays are a time to gather things that bring light to you in the cold darkness, and to share your light as Prometheus does, and as Odysseus does by letting his mother know he's alive. Sharing our light is what the season is all about, and we do this by eating together, giving gifts, and spending time in the company of others. Okay. So we'll now move into the ritual portion of the observance. Again, please, if you have not already, go fill out the end of the year survey. It has lots of information about this in there and a vote. Then for now I will read the words, but this is going to change up in the new year. I've got a whole wonderful plan, so it'll be great. So we leave this offering for our gods to symbolize our connection and devotion. We gift this water to accept the flow of our lives. We gift this rock to symbolize the stability of gods in the world. We welcome life and bless our offerings with oil to share our riches. We embrace our connection to each other and the world and celebrate our revival. So we'll now do our closing words. I know this was a bit of a shorter observance, but I really wanted to read you Prometheus' story, and it's a short one. And also just, have a general fun time. Please remember, we have a lot of new exciting events in the new year, including some contests, and we have a New Year's party coming up, as well as our movie night. So I hope everyone really looks forward to all of those things and comes to participate with us. So, as we move out into the world, let us remember our community of faith. Cherish love and open your heart as you walk through life. Hold dear the light of the gods and our connection with the natural world. Go forth in celebration and carry the light of connection within your heart. Good evening and welcome to Sun Meadow Temple.